All right, so if you're seeing me right now, this is me waiting for Andy to show up. I'm Cheri Hardman. This is my kingdom. Now, this is my backdrop for the show Heavy Petting with Cheri Hardman, which I am always game to do. There's Andy. So if you're a comedian with a pet, get at me and we'll do this. I just get discouraged when I make these appointments and people cancel, and then I just go, oh, forget it. Here, let me let Andy in.
Welcome to another episode of
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy.
I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my bestie,
Cheri Hardman. We decided to do something.
Yeah?
Andy Vargo and I will do anything for attention.
Yes, we will.
I'll tell you what I did. My nails, my hair, and my nails, my hair.
You gotta give yourself credit for all the things you do.
I'll tell you what I did earlier, later.
Now I don't know when it'll happen.
Earlier. And we're here to discuss my nails, my hair, and
Being the best at no matter what it is that you're doing. Now I don't know when it'll happen.
we're already on the air.
How are you?
Did you hear me?
What was that?
We're already on the air. We're already connected.
Oh, thanks for the warning. Oh,
Yeah, so you would come in and say
I
something.
wasn't picking my nose or anything crazy like that.
I just thought, oh, he'll
Hello,
be here.
world.
I thought, well, he's going to be here any minute. Let's just have it already done. Already shared it to my Facebook page.
Wow, look at you all over it.
I know.
You're on it today.
That's because I want to get in and out of here because I'm starving to death.
Oh, I see what it's all about. I got you. It's all about the meal planning.
Uh-huh.
I
Can I
meal
tell-
plan. I always
can I
plan
t-
what my next meal is.
I know. Can I tell you about my meal or
Yeah.
my problem?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, all of a sudden now my nose is running. Okay, so yesterday, let me go back. Day before yesterday, Dave made me a sandwich, as he always does.
He's so sweet.
He's so sweet, but we know, like, I'm not really a fan of the sandwiches, but it's nice to have the sandwich,
That counts.
and it's the thought that counts. And I love him for it, and I would be lost if he didn't make my sandwich every day.
Right.
That being said, for some reason, I had something else. Oh, I stayed home sick that day, and so I ate like soup or something. So I didn't eat the sandwich. So the next day, he just gave me the day before's sandwich. But it was all mushy. The bread was mushy. And then when I sniffed it, something smelled weird. I don't know what it was, but it just made me want to vomit. And so I threw the sandwich away. So then today was the next day, and I opened up the lunchbox. I didn't smell anything weird. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong or that Dave made a weird sandwich, but when I opened the thing today, I put the sandwich up, and I could smell a tinge of that. Like, I don't know if we got some weird bread or weird lettuce or weird mustard. It's one of those three things. And it just, I went like that, and my teeth grossed out. And so I knew I couldn't eat it. So I'm over that. I guess I can't have the sandwich. But anyway, so I've been starving.
Now, are you able to get food at school? Like, is there an option for you to buy something very easily?
I can buy a student lunch, but then you have to like stand in, you don't have to stand in line. You have to go where the crowded lunchroom, which I avoid at all costs. Yeah.
That's fair. I get it.
Now, I used to be able to like order Uber Eats, but then they made it so that the kids couldn't do it. So I don't know if they've done something where I can't do it too. I don't need to find out. School year's almost over. So I'll just start bringing leftovers for lunch.
Forever.
So how are you?
I'm good. I've had a busy morning. I had a chiropractor appointment. I'm working on getting well adjusted, and that was good. And then I had to go that way a mile to go to the chiropractor, and I had to go that way a mile to go downtown to meet somebody. So So I got a good, and then a mile back. So I got a good 4 miles in, you know, doing all the running around, and stopped in the middle of the coffee shop and got some writing done and a few things. And I'm really, I'm trying to get this next book done. You know, I finished writing the one, and that one's just kind of in the stage right now where I have all of my part done, and I can't do the next thing until I get some things back from other people. And that leaves me kind of in this weird space. And so I'm really trying to not be obsessive about like not getting anything done. Like in the past, I'd be like, okay, well, I can't do anything until, and then I just don't do anything. It's like, well, no, I have all these other projects. So I just need to shift gears and say, well, I'm going to work on this. And when that stuff comes back in, I'll come back to that. So I'm trying to get this writing done for my sequel book to being a rideshare driver, the OneDrive stands, which I think I'm about a third of the way done with the stories right now. I started going in because some of the chapters are partially written and some are completely done. And so I started adding the word done in parentheses after the title, and I'll just have to take that off. I know it's boring. It's
No,
dry.
you know how I am. I just do
I
it.
know. But I did go through, and I think I have 8 of them done. And I have about 24 more to do. But there's 2 that are half done and they're really close to being done. So I was trying to work on those today. It's interesting how much I have to kind of research my own stories when I'm doing them, because sometimes I'm mixing up who went where. So I'm having to go Google, okay, well, if I don't want to, like, I remember picking this person up in downtown Tacoma and taking them to Gig Harbor, but I'm not going to tell the story that way because of people's privacy. So now I'm going to say I'm dropping them off, say, in the North End or in Northeast Tacoma, but now I've got to figure out what's about the right distance of ride for the amount of conversation that happens, or if we mention passing a place, it has to be en route, or
Got it.
so these 2 chapters are both pretty close to being done, but I'm having to, it's like you have to deconstruct and reconstruct it in a way that makes sense according to the story itself is the same. But
Is there something rattling on your end?
no, maybe it's in your head. Something rattle around in your
I just keep hearing it, but I only notice it when you talk.
Oh, I don't know. Can you hear it
Yeah,
now?
yeah, it's like a chattering or rattling sound. That's the only way I can describe it. That's weird. It's very slight in the background. I thought it was a bird at first, but then I noticed that when you stopped talking, it stopped. So I don't know.
Maybe it's
If
my
you're
Apple.
watching right now, people, let us know if you hear what I'm talking about, or if I am just insane.
Yeah, maybe it's just in Cheri's head.
It did it right again when you talk.
Okay. Well, I will try to talk, you know, vibrantly and cover
No,
up
I don't know what it is. That's weird.
I
Okay.
don't know. But yeah, so I got all that done. I came home and just kind of chilled for a little bit. And I said I was going to do laundry, but that never got started for some reason. I know.
And laundry is so engaging and fun to do, so I can't imagine why that would happen.
Yesterday, it's been a long week. Yesterday, I was so exhausted. I got home about 6 o'clock, and I think about 6:30, I just kind of dozed off on the couch. I was like, I'm done for the day. And then I kind of chilled and I did a couple things, but then it was like 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm done. And I got a really good night's sleep in. And so today I'm like doing all the things.
Good.
So I'm excited because I have a show coming up
I know you do have a show coming up on Monday.
on Monday, and it's your
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, at Odd Otter, we're doing Unmentionables.
Yes, it's going to be a blast.
Got you and Dewa Dorje and Levi Manis and Mike Walter.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is it Walter or Walters?
Mike W.
Well, I just remember hearing about him as Mike I think it is Walters. Could be wrong. But now I don't see him going by the Wally. Michael Walter. Oh, wrong. I was wrong. So anyway, was there another person on the show, or that was it? Just you 3 and him, right?
And you.
and me. That's, yeah. So that's a fun show. Unmentionables is always a little fun, a little crazy, not too crazy, although we have Levi.
Levi's always fun.
Levi has been known to get a little crazy with the Unmentionables. That's why I invited him back, because he's fun. So
yeah, he really is.
So if you haven't seen Unmentionables, come down. It's not obscene, it's risque. There's a difference.
Well, and I think what a lot of people just, whenever I tell people about it, we've got a lot of customers asking about it. I said, no, it's fun because they're like, what's this game show theme? And I said, it's fun because the comedians have words they're not allowed to say. And if they say them, the audience is going to yell cheers and interrupt their set. And then they're going to have to spin the wheel of consequence and do a thing. And people are like, oh my God, that sounds so fun. And we get to get into it. The audience really always gets behind that show.
They do. They do. Those are usually our best tip nights, or the Unmentionables nights.
Yeah.
So
You got anything between now and then?
I do. I don't have my calendar right next to me, but Saturday night, I'm doing A Street Pub. They have a Saturday night open mic, and it's a kind of a game show, kind of a improv kind of a thing.
Okay.
I've never done it, so I think it might even be the first one. I don't know, but we shall see. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Well, we're gonna have a fun couple of days. Got a good weekend ahead of us.
Mhm.
A lot of growth coming up. That's exciting.
I know. I went and got my lashes done.
They look
You
nice.
tell.
I was really disappointed I wanted to do that for you
I know.
one of these days.
I didn't have time to do, but that's what I want to talk about today.
Okay, let's hear what you want. Why don't you start? What do you want to talk about today?
Okay.
Lashes?
I don't really want to like sound like an entitled white woman. So that's not really what I'm going for here. It's more like I'm speaking as a fat disabled person going to go get a service somewhere.
Okay.
Or really to go into any public space. Okay. So I've been going to the same nail salon for 15 years. Okay. And they just sold it to somebody else. Now, the last time I went, they were gone. The owners were gone. The new owners were there, but the salon they hadn't swapped out like the furniture and all that kind of decoration.
Yeah.
So I think the old owners are going to come take all that with them. The new owners are putting all their stuff in. And so they're closed all month long. And about half, I don't know, it looked like about half the staff was new and half the staff was old last time I was there.
Okay.
So that's traumatic enough. I know it doesn't sound like it, but 15 years, people get to know you pretty well, especially like I had a direct line to the owner, and if they like fucked up my lashes or told me that they didn't have appointments, I would always text her and she would take care of it immediately. So I kind of felt like a celebrity, like a special customer. Yeah. So okay, I can let go of that. But I also, part of why I go to get this stuff done is that my feet actually really need this in a medical sense. And my legs, and it's not something like, I don't let anyone see my legs unless I have to. And like if I go to a pool or something, which is rare, I put makeup on my legs because of what being in a wheelchair has done to my legs. Okay. And so it's a very personal, embarrassing thing to go get a pedicure.
Sure.
Okay. So there's that. And then my eyelashes have pretty much on this eye, like a big chunk of them have fallen out or are at such a stubby phase. I can't wear mascara or anything. So I look like shit if I don't have eyelashes. So, and my hands, that's just me being vain. Okay. But anyway, I feel like when I go to do this stuff, I put it off as long as I can because I don't really enjoy it. but I also feel like it's necessary, the necessary things that I'm doing. But when I go into a place, usually a nail salon is pretty small. Now the one that I used to go to, my one that's closed right now, is very big, and they had a place where I could park before I went into the room to get my lashes done. But all the pedicure stations are up on pedestals, so I had to step up quite a big step every time, and so I had to psych myself up to go.
Yeah.
And this place is, it's on Pearl Street in Tacoma, so it's quite a drive to get there and back. But they knew me. They knew what my legs looked like. They knew what my feet looked like. They knew how I like things.
Right.
That's the way I like it. I was very comfortable. And now all of a sudden, like I put this off until I had, 3 weird lashes going like this. I'm like, I gotta go somewhere,
Right.
Yeah. And so I went, and it was fine. They were great. But like, even just being a big person, you have to get up on this bed, table, whatever, and it's like, is this thing gonna hold me? I went to a place at the mall. I think I know I've told you this. There was a place there, and their beds were like ironing boards. Like I was terrified to get it. It looked like an ironing board. And I'm like, there's no way this thing's gonna hold me. They probably should not have had me get up there, but they did. And I lived through it, but it was very scary.
Yeah, not a relaxing experience.
So if I go into a new place, I know they haven't seen my legs. My feet are disgusting. At least one of my feet is. There's a lot of like, am I going to fit in the chair? Is my scooter going to fit in there? And then I'm sorry, but most nail salons are Vietnamese run. They do a great job. I love the people that work there. I'm trying not to say anything that sounds racist, but they do talk about you behind your back in front of your face. There's like a whole comedy skit about that, which has gotten blasted for being racist because she's using the voice, but that's exactly what it's like. 100%. And like I've had people like, how they shave like the callus off your foot. And like sometimes like I remember one time they're making like a pile of shavings and calling other workers to come over and look at it. And then they'll stand around you and like talk in their language while looking at your disgusting. Many, many, many times that has happened to me. So
it kind of makes you want to get like Google Translate and like record it and be like,
really? Yeah, for sure. They said, someone said they've come out with an app or are coming out with an app that is like instant translation with someone.
Yeah, I think there is one like that.
Talking, and you can do it in any language. But I've always thought of that. But I know what they're saying about me. Look at her gross, disgusting feet. Look how fat she is. I know what they're saying. So I know it sounds maybe big deal, like, oh, at least you can afford to do that. A lot of people can't. I understand that. But there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with going to get it done.
Right.
And the whole time I'm in there, I'm pretty miserable. But when I come out, I feel great. Once it's all over. But that's a lot to go through once a month. And right now, I notice that I'm this week, maybe it's because I didn't see my therapist Saturday, I'm very mental.
Yeah.
Mentally sensitive. I really am noticing that I'm feeling very sensitive.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Not like I don't necessarily feel that right now, but the last few years, 6 years or whatever, I've noticed that I'm more in tune with like, oh, I feel a little bit like things will be taken a little bit harder. Like I'm more aware of my mental awareness. So I'm just sensitive right now. And
I could tell this week. I've been, I was sick over the weekend. And then sometimes then I go back to work and I'm just so miserable being there. And I'm like, am I making myself sick so that like, is this, I
Yeah.
know it's not, but I think there's a connection between how shitty I physically feel and my job, because it's funny, I don't feel that way when I'm in Austin. I don't feel that way when I'm in Vegas.
Right.
I only feel that way at work.
Right. But there's a famous psychologist who did these studies, and I believe I could be saying it. I'm going to get the quote, the statistics wrong, but I know that the result is true. That there's a thing with mental conditioning where if you like, you can train yourself and even inadvertently that you feel miserable in a certain place. So then when you're there, you're like, oh, I'm going to feel miserable. They did this with dogs where they would like blow a whistle and give them a treat every time. And so they trained the dog essentially to think they're hungry every time they hear a whistle. So then if they would blow the whistle and then not give the dog food, the dog would still salivate like it was hungry. And it was like, it's this mental conditioning of like, oh, because this outside thing is happening, I must have this physical response. And so I think we can do that where we're like, okay, work is miserable. So now every time I go now, I'm going to feel miserable when I'm there. And Vegas is fun. So no matter how bad the trip is, it's still going to be fun because it's Vegas. And not that it's not bad and not that it's not fun, but
Yeah. So I don't know, like the fact that I'm making, no, that's not even true. It's not the fact that I'm making like a negative or pointing out how negative it is to go get these services done. I always feel that,
yeah,
but just I think the scope or the magnitude of it is different right now. Everything's different since I lost Noah.
oh sure,
Everything is different. And so even just, I noticed that my mental health is just a little, oh no, a lot more fragile. So
yeah,
things like this
rightly so.
that used to kind of bother me like all day. I was like, oh, okay, I got to go do this. They're going to, like I prepare myself, like they're going to talk shit about you in front of your face and behind your back. And you just get used to it because half the time they're probably just really talking about, can you hand me this or whatever? And the other half is,
But also you've got a few combinations where you've got a week where your mental health is a little bit more sensitive. You've got a week where you were sick. You're squeezing it in after a work day and before getting home for this. And it's a new place with new people and who knows what dynamics are going to be there.
yeah.
So sometimes that one thing that's like, okay, yeah, it's going to make me anxious or nervous, or I'm not going to feel like great about it. Well, any one of those things would do that. And then you put them all together on the same day.
And people that have anxiety, myself being one of them, going to a new place, period, is anxiety provoking. And now tomorrow, I have to go back and get my nails and my feet done.
Okay.
So it's not going to be quite as traumatic as it would have been if they had done it today. But it will be now me going back to somewhere I've already been.
Yeah.
So that's going to help a layer like of comfort.
Sure. And was it okay today?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I could tell you 10 things right now that sucked about it, but that was fine. It was fine. It was
You
fine.
started out saying you didn't want to sound like an entitled white woman. I was like, oh God, what happened? I was waiting for the juice.
No, it's like why? Oh,
but I know what you
oh
mean.
boo-hoo! You're complaining about having to go get your lashes done. I
Right.
get that. That's like, fuck you, lady.
But
But I mean, it's still my experience and what I want to talk about. And it's funny, at the other place they call my scooter my car.
oh,
So they always say like, can you park your car over there? That's what they say. Your car.
you don't go out into the parking lot and just drive through the window, do you? Just that's what you said.
So we'll see how the pedicure goes. But I did notice that their pedicure chairs are flush to the floor, so I don't have to step up against that.
So
So there's that.
you may have a new connection and it's closer to home.
And it's yeah, it's right over by Jack in the Box.
Oh yeah, which I highly recommend getting after your appointment and not before.
Man, those little mini churros at that place. Ooh,
The other night when
good.
you were going through a Jack in the Box drive-through, and I'm just like, God
Oh.
damn it, Cheri, now I'm hungry.
Oh, the one where you were yelling loudly while I was trying to order.
I was trying to add to your order for you. Oh no, I wasn't adding to your order. I was like, oh, every time she ordered something, I'm like, oh yeah, those are delicious.
You're going, ooh, that sounds good. Yeah.
Gotta get some of that. That was fun.
But anyway, so I'm proud of myself that I went there today, and that I'll be going back tomorrow, and then I don't have to worry about it for 3 to 4 weeks. So
Good, yay.
yeah. So what else do you want to talk about? I mean, this is the best freaking podcast in the world. We just talked about me going to get my lashes done. I mean, who doesn't want to listen to
I didn't
that?
want to tune in and hear about that. Getting skin shaved off your
Can
leg.
I tell you? I know. Can I tell you a little bit about a little bit more about the class that I'm taking?
Yes, please. Let's hear about that.
We didn't talk about that last night. We didn't talk.
We haven't done this for 3 weeks, so we're like
Yeah.
a lot to catch up on.
So I talked to you after the class last week. Now, this last week, I didn't like do my homework and stuff like I should have. I mean, we had a homework assignment to watch 3 new comedians we'd never seen before.
Okay.
I watched one, and then we were supposed to just keep working on our set that we're writing. And I did work on it, just not, but you know, I was sick. I will
Yeah, that's
say
fair.
that was part of it. And we did get together as a group on Zoom and work on our sets, and we all took a turn, and it was fine. But I really felt like I cheated myself by not doing the homework like I should have. So I was mad at myself more than anything. Like I didn't even, okay, I was in the same room with Nate, and I didn't even put a good bra on before I left the house. I was just like, oh, you know.
So you just kind of gave up that day.
I did. So what he had people do was get up on the stage and start telling their jokes or their stories, what they're writing about. And some people had nothing, had a sentence, and some people already had like a bit written. But everybody didn't get a chance to get up there. So last night it was just me watching everybody else, except for a couple other people, get up and do their thing. Which is kind of like mind-numbing, like going to an open mic. No offense to Nate and his class.
No, I could see how that would be, because yeah.
So it's just like, it just wasn't my turn, so it was boring for me. It was interesting though to watch how Nate would make someone just start over if they fucked up. Start over.
Well, and sometimes in those conversations, you can take ideas back for yourself, where you're like, oh, maybe I need to ask myself that question or look at my set from that angle.
Exactly. So there was a lot of that, and it is interesting. There was a couple times I wanted to speak up about people's jokes, like maybe don't do that rape joke, that kind of stuff, you know. But it was also fun watching people gain a little confidence up there, like brand newbies, you know, like good for them. So next week when we go, I'll get to go first, but he already told me that I'm first next week. But
yay.
I really feel like well, we talked about this. I don't like writing for a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
I like to just be talking in a conversation and say something funny and go, oh, I'm going to go write that down, you know? And so this one is, I just don't feel like it's funny enough. I feel like I'm listing a bunch of funny things that are not smartly crafted jokes that I've written, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping it will come to me. There's one joke that I've written that I like and think is funny.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is just, it's just
Uh,
true weird things.
yeah. Well, and you know how that's the one thing I hate about even starting over without a deadline, where you're like, I have to go say this joke on stage to work through it, and it's going to be painful, and I hate that, but I have to do that in order to start working it. And it's just like this arbitrary like thing you got to start with.
It's like going to the gym. It's like going to the gym January 2nd or 1st or whatever. Like, oh, okay, we got to do this. I go, that's why. Well, ask me the last time I ever went to a gym. That was probably.
I was about to make a joke about the fact that you're using that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just that same feeling of like dragging yourself to do something because you know you got to do it.
There's a workout place over here I go by every day.
You walk by there?
I walk by it, yes.
Do you wave?
I just stop and watch sometimes. I'm like, look at you guys. Good for you. Like, what about that third treadmill over? You're not keeping up very well. Yeah. I don't know why the gyms have to have like the windows so that everybody can watch them. Like, why don't they fog that over or something? Or
for sure.
weird to me, like,
There's like that place at the Super Mall in Auburn. There's just a window so that everybody walking through the mall could watch you work out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be on display like that. It doesn't encourage people who aren't at a certain level of fitness to get to that level. It's I want like a.
I don't even want to watch myself work out, much less somebody else watch.
It should be like movie theater lighting, and like you can't see what's going on, and you just do your thing in private.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm working on a bit, and it's clean bit.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I'm having trouble with it. I don't know, because I'm such a dirty whore, but
there is a thing about, I don't know. Yeah, I got you there. Yep.
But this is good for me. Some reason why I took this class was to get a little more disciplined.
And it's you'll grow from the experience either way. Yeah.
Oh, David Crosby died. What?
Who?
Come over there and punch you in your mustache. Oh.
David Crosby?
Yeah.
Is he related to Bill?
Sometimes, Andy.
Hold on, I'm Googling David Crosby so I can be in on the musician. Oh, Crosby, Stills, and Nash Crosby.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, you didn't say Stills and Nash. You just said David Crosby.
Well, they might not be dead.
I don't know.
I haven't kept track, but David Crosby was the one that I knew and
that's sad.
Recognized and all that. So yeah.
And Lisa Marie died.
Yes.
Bad week for celebrity deaths.
And I didn't know that she had lost her son to suicide. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I read like a little article about how, she died of a broken heart and.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. It happens a lot. So on that cheerful note.
Right.
No, I just happened to look because I was looking to see if anyone had left us comments.
And then you have to love a podcast where the host just gets on Google really quick in the middle of the show.
Yeah, that's how we do here. Oh.
So yeah.
We got tickets for Rory Scovel today.
That's exciting. I saw that you.
So we're gonna try to get me on the show, but they only had 2 wheelchair tickets.
Oh.
With no seat next to them. So Andrew, Dave, and I cannot go. So first I was going to buy just like a random seat, like 10 rows up. And then I was like, you know what? We need to we need to get out on a date every now and then without Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually causes me a little anxiety. It never used to, but it does now.
Yeah.
But I think we deserve to go out on a date. So
Yes,
I am going to harass Rory a little bit just to see if I can at least get a guest spot.
That'd be
But
nice.
I think somebody else has already sent him a message regarding me.
Oh, good, on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So we shall see what's going to happen with that. But either way,
It's
you know how much I love him. I look at his pictures in my phone every now and then that I took when I was gazing at him. And, you know,
yeah.
why I didn't take a selfie with him, I don't know, because I don't think of that. That's what I need a class
You
about.
need to just put a little post-it on your phone that says "Take a selfie."
Right. Maybe I could just make a screensaver or whatever you call it.
Selfie
Take
question
a
mark.
selfie, yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Like
it.
get
I'll
selfie.
never see it though, because I'm always on my phone. So
You are, even during podcasts.
well, anyway,
I'm hoping to buy a car tomorrow.
yeah.
I hope so. I think tomorrow.
That one you sent me the picture.
I don't know. I've looked at so many. Was that the blue one?
Blue with
I don't know,
white.
probably not. I don't know if that one's going to work out. But there's another place in Seattle that has a few different ones that could work in what I have to work with and what I'm interested in. And there's a few different ones on the same lot, so I might try to get up there tomorrow. But then I got to figure out, like, this is the problem. Like, so if you're watching from other regions, I'm in Tacoma, which is, you know, half an hour, 40 minutes south of Seattle. I don't have a car, so then it's like, well, do I get someone to give me a ride up there? But then if I don't buy a car, I've got to come back. And so unless somebody's planning to go with me for the day and possibly drive home alone, that's no fun. And then do I take the train up there and Uber to the lot?
Right. If
But
it
then,
if it was
like,
if it was Sunday, I could do it. But I got appointments tomorrow.
no, and I'm not saying that to like, but I'm just, you know,
I
like
mean,
this is
I
the
would
whole
do that.
complication
Yeah.
of just like, I know you would, but you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, there's all these complications, and then it's like, well, that's assuming that I buy a car and drive home, and then what if that doesn't work out, you know? And so I'm gonna think through that tonight, and I got to call and see. This place says they just do appointments for showings anyway, so I got to even see if there's time. But
Mm-hmm.
and I got to see if I can take the day off because I'm on the schedule to work tomorrow too. So there's a lot of things, but I kind of was hoping tomorrow might be the day to make it happen. So I took today off from, like, yesterday I was getting a little anxious about the whole situation, and I was just getting down on dealing with it, and I was like, I'm in the wrong mindset to keep drowning myself in these thoughts. And I've gotten better about being like, you know what, if this is a bummer, I just need to step away from it for a while. And so I said, you know what, I got plenty of stuff to do, plus just having a day off without doing stuff would be nice. So it's like today I'm not even going to give that any mind space. So other than texting a little, I texted with Steve a little bit this morning because he's the car guy and super good on like, oh, look at this one and look at that one, and oh, you might think of this. And I sent him one that I liked last night, and it was gone by this morning. It's like, that car's already gone. I'm like, oh shit. But so yeah, so I thought, you know, tomorrow will be the day that I jump back into dealing with that situation.
Well, that'll be, you know, it'll be fun.
Mhm.
Once that's all over and you have your car, then it will be like, oh, now I'm driving. It'll be fun. But
Yeah,
there's
and
just a lot between now and then.
yeah, and it's like my insurance ends on Tuesday as it stands, and I haven't called to adjust it because it's like, well, I'm gonna get a car, I'll just call and do that all at once. I don't want to have to.
Right.
And so it's like, if I don't get a car this weekend, then I have to call and make sure my other car is taken off, but that I still have insurance for driving. You know, just like make sure. I don't want to cut my insurance and then not be covered. I don't want to have a gap where then, you know, how they raise your insurance if you have even a 1-day gap.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get in that situation. But that's what's in my head right now. But at the same time, I got these books coming out and I'm really trying to focus on getting those done. And those daily emails that I'm working on, I'm working on a subscription where people could get just like a paragraph, just a little quick, hey, don't let this get you down today kind of thing. And you'd get that every other day from me, and where I would just charge a super cheap price, like $8 a year or something like that. And be like, hey, sign up for this. You'll get one from me every other day. Well, in order to do that, I have to write 183 emails in order for people to get one every other day for a year. And so I'm on day 11. And I am not going to release them or promote them very much until I get day 30 written, because then I'll at least be 2 months ahead of getting them out. So,
and then you're going to be going, this is going to be a weekly service.
right. Yeah, no, I do plan to have them all done because I can use that tool in other ways for marketing. I can use it as a free giveaway sometimes. Or I can just be like, hey, if you want to give it to your friend for, $8 who needs some encouragement. And I'm actually really enjoying what I've written so far. I've gone back and found quotes that I enjoyed from either my books or things that I've written that other people have pointed out and said it was really helpful. I'm like, oh yeah. So some of it is not all like, I'm not having to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
And I even found one of them the other day that I wrote was called Turning Monsters into Puppies. And it's a quote, it's an idea that someone on one of my podcasts said about, that voice in your head that's really mean and not always nice to you. And that we always see it as this monster that's kind of like scary, but he's learned to see it as a puppy that just needs to be trained. And that way it's like, no, that's not how you talk to me. And I'm going to teach you how to do this. And now it's not so scary. And it's this thing that you just know is going to keep jumping up on your leg. And so it's kind of fun to put other things in there that other people have shared, and it's not just me. And then put a link in there to the episode in case people want to hear the whole episode. So so I'm excited about that coming together, but I do have a lot of work to do on that front. But if I get a couple written every day, I'll get to a point where I can just write, once I get to a point where I can just write, like, if I could write 10 a week, I'll stay ahead of it. And maybe I'll get to a point where there's a second year or something where people can just redo it. But
fantastic.
So that's what I've been working on. It's trying to grow the business.
Yeah. There's a lot of work involved in all this kind of stuff. I need to update my website right now, but
there's just always so much to do. And for me, one of the things that I realized is I have this business plan of scope of products I'll be selling, from hire me to come speak to 10,000 people down to, free entry, watch my stuff, or pay $8 to get these emails all year long, or buy a book for $10. And along the way, I've got little things that, $10 products, $20 products, $50 products, $200, thousands of dollars. And not all of those things are plugged in place yet. And so my goal for this year is to get some more of those things in place so that everything will be working as it should.
Cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. All right.
You ready to go?
I am. So what are you eating for dinner? Because I know that's what you're excited and ready for.
I think we're having flame burger. But I also have... Is that a
restaurant?
Yeah. Okay. It's really good. And it's got the big crinkle cut fries with the fry sauce, the ketchup and mayonnaise sauce. But I have some, like, I either burnt or scraped the roof of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
It really hurts. I don't remember doing it. I haven't had like any Captain Crunch or anything like that. So
I haven't had any pizza scalded.
No, I don't know when that happened.
Because there's the times where it happens and right away, you're like, God damn it.
Oh yeah, I gotta suffer with this for a couple days. But this is like day 3 that it's bothering me and it's not going away. So I'll have to eat my hamburger gingerly.
Yes, use a fork and knife.
Dainty.
I saw a video today and it was this gal said, I'm eating a burger, but it's lettuce wrapped. And she had taken a whole hamburger with the bun and put lettuce around the outside. And she's like, and I'm eating French fries, but they're lettuce wrapped and everything. Pretty funny.
That's funny.
That is funny. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So,
All right.
everybody, it's been a pleasure. Be sure to show up at Odd Otter on Monday if you're in the Tacoma area at 7:30.
Yes, please do.
They're a
It's gonna
little
be
early, so
fun.
we're not anxious, but it's going to be a blast. I know tickets are already selling, and
Yeah, we sold more today. So,
yes.
okay.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Bye.
Bye.